Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another Tuesday where I, your guy, Tyrone Glover, the Dress Down CEO, brings it to you live. We're going to be talking about what we know is going to help you get to that next level financially. This is a credit educational show that really focuses on helping consumers of color, helping consumers of all ages, of all genders, of all groups. It does not matter. We understand that we're going through some serious trials and tribulations when it comes to our credit, when it comes to our finances. And if we can, those of us who are experienced and those of us who are savvy enough to navigate and walk you through some of these particulars, we're almost guaranteeing you, can't 100% guarantee, but we can almost get you so close to that you'll benefit by just tuning in Tuesdays, by just making the time to just log in. Just come in and listen to what we got to talk about, what we have to say. I'm telling you, you're going to walk away with so much knowledge. You're going to walk away with so much more experience and understanding of how you, the public, can literally get that credit score back up to where it needs to be. All right. So again, my name is Tyrone Glover, and I'm your Dress Down CEO, and this is Leverage Your Score. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for making the time. And as always, I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so grateful to be with you. I'm so grateful to have the platform that Soul City has provided for me. And it's always a blessing to be able to do what I do because we need it. We need it, folks. Everything that we talk about on a daily basis, I do talk about it on a daily basis, but we talk about on a weekly basis. If you apply those, if you put 5, 10, 15, I'd love for you to put 100%, but even if you didn't need the full 100%, if you put 5, 10, 15% of that into just parts and pieces, I'm telling you, you will see the benefits. And if you put 100% into it, not only will you see the benefits, you'll reap the rewards. And that's what everyone should really be looking at. Reward for my investment. Okay. Reward for my investment. How well am I doing as I invest my time, my energy, and everything into making sure financially that we're savvy, we're smart, we're intelligent, we're bright. And this is what these shows are all about. So thank you very much as always. And I always have to put it out there. Before we start the show, I ask everybody, grab your device. As you can see, I am always connected. Grab your device and please do me a favor. Go right to that text, tweet, whatever you want to do, and send to one person. That's all I want you to do. Send it to one person. Once you send it to one person, put in that tweet, that text, that Facebook message, put in there, please send it to another person. Because I'm telling you, it's the ones that are in our immediate circles that truly could benefit from this information the most. We're looking, we're searching, we're praying, we're doing all of those things. But the one thing that we're not doing is we're not sharing. So let's share this information. Let's get it out there to those who can definitely use it. And I'm telling you, it's those in your immediate circles. All right. So if you did that for me already, I'm gratefully appreciate it. And we're going to jump right on into it. Let's get some slides going and let's show you how to rebuild or rebuilding credit. Make your way from bad credit to exceptional credit. This is what this show is all about, making your way from bad credit to exceptional credit. And we know you want exceptional credit. I'm telling you, but so far, there's been a lot of talk about interest rates, or excuse me, not interest rate, but inflation. Inflation is monetary. I mean, that's a policy that's going to have to be passed. Rich people are getting richer, poor people are getting poorer, and we all understand how that pretty much works. Poor people put in, rich people more or less get out. The inflation piece, I don't want too many of us being overwhelmed by that. And I know it's something that bothers you, and I get it, but don't let it overwhelm you. Start putting a lot more of that emphasis, that energy, that strength. Start putting into those things that you can control. Inflation, you can't control. Your credit, you definitely can control. Being able to go from a unsatisfactory or bad credit to a exceptional credit, that's within your full control. And there are other things that we're going to be talking about later on as the month and the years continue on, of how we're going to take back the reins from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. For-profit businesses should not be controlling something that should be a public entity. I'm going to say it one more time. For-profit businesses should not be controlling anything that is and should be a public opportunity. Because anytime you get businesses involved in this, obviously the businesses are going to be looking at for that one thing, their bottom line. And that's okay. As a business person myself, as someone who loves to play the devil's advocate, I get the business aspect of it. But I also, as a consumer, understand that these businesses are not doing what they were supposed to. So please, I'm imploring you. I'm not going to beg you, but TLC said ain't too proud to beg. So I'm beg you. Start looking into your credit. Start looking at those things that are within your control. And I'm telling you, you'll start reaping and seeing the benefits. All right. So as we move through these slides, we're going to obviously be sharing with you a lot of information. So I really want you to be able to walk away and have as much knowledge as possible. All right. So here we go. All right. So prepare the following before we start. Something to write with. All right. You're going to need these things. I tell my students all the time, something to write with, something to write on. And if you need, have a calendar. If you don't, we talked about it last week, make sure you have a credit report. Computer or tablet works fine, because these are things that you're going to need to be able to, again, create the documents, the data that you're going to need should you have to challenge anything that is irregular within your credit profile. And I'm telling you, we've experienced, we have noticed more irregularities, not just because of COVID, but obviously even prior to COVID. So there's a lot of things that new laws have come out as well. So why are you waiting around? Why are you sitting around thinking that this is just going to go away and your credit just going to magically become a 700 or 800? It's not going to happen that way. There are too many influences already that's preventing that from happening already. So it's really important. These are, again, as I said, if you're with us today, please have these things available. Something to write on, something to write with, a calendar so that you can put those goals. When do you want to be at 700? When do you want to be at 800? And a computer or a tablet is just an excellent resource, because I like individuals to go back as I'm giving you information. Google it. Check me out. Make sure that I'm giving you something that is obviously valid. Because I would hate for somebody to do a show for an hour every single day or every single week, and then the information that they're giving you is not valid. It's not something that you can go back and you can literally check. I'm asking anyone, any and everyone. You think that I'm giving you something that is not 100%, you have an open invitation to my show, because I definitely want to hear from you. And equally, I'm just making sure that you, as always, get that second, get that third opinion if that's what you need. But I'm telling you now, good 96% of the information that we're giving you is 100% validated. We've done our research. We've done our more than enough exploring the territory. This is a 15, almost 20-year endeavor. Trust me when I tell you, I'm more than up and capable to doing exactly what I need to do. And I'm just hoping that you have that much trust in me, because I have trust in you that you want to be at an 800. I'm almost certain. And as I tell everybody all the time, there's nothing sexy about this job, but I'm attempting to make it as sexy as possible. But there's nothing sexy about credit. There's nothing sexy about talking about credit. But there's everything sexy about an 850. There's everything sexy about going to the car dealership and walking away with the 1-2% interest rate. There's everything sexy about getting that credit card at 0% for maybe 24 months. And then when they finally flip it over after 24 months, you're still at 1%. There's everything sexy about borrowing money at the lowest dollar amount feasible. There's everything sexy about that. Everything. But there's nothing really sexy about talking about it. And that's the part that I am going to now attempt to make sexy as I move through the next decades. All right. This is all about you, people. This is an educational program that is all about making you savvy, smart, wise, intelligent, brilliant, bright. Those qualities you already have within you. We're just now going to apply those qualities to your credit and make you that much more of a viable candidate for whomever you choose to use as your borrower or lender. All right, so those are the things that you need. Let's keep it going. All right, start by getting new credit accounts. So this is the first thing that I really want everybody to understand. You're gonna have to start getting new credit accounts if you want to build this credit. If you already have credit accounts, if you already got them, great, fantastic. Now, the thing that I'm going to need you to start doing is managing them as if you are, which you are, the CEO of your household. Every single person who is listening, every single person who is out there, whether you're a two-family household or whether you're a single-family household, you are that CEO. Now, most companies have accounting, they have bookkeeping, they have all of those assets that help manage that business. And unfortunately, you as the CEO of your own household, you don't have all those assets. But the one thing that I can tell you that you do have, you have somebody who is willing to help you, walk you through, hold that hand, pat you on the back for all of these successes that you're going to have, and also pick you up when you have those stumbles, because that's going to happen. But the most important thing is that think about this like you think about your sports. You need a coach. There's no way that the Bengals and I think it was the Chargers. I think it is. There's no way that they could have played obviously without coaches, but it probably would have been a catastrophe. But by having coaches, it allows for things to go in the manner in which it should. So that's why I'm telling you, you're going to need a coach. You're going to need a coach with getting new accounts. You're going to need a coach with getting or maintaining your old accounts. You're going to need a coach. And this is the perfect way of explaining that while we're talking about how to rebuild credit. All right, so don't apply for too many credit cards at once. That inquiry piece is going to bring down your score. All right, 5 credit inquiries in 2 years. And that doesn't seem like a lot. But again, just think about the inquiries. If you keep inquiring, if you keep asking somebody out on a date, at some point, that person is going to think that you're desperate. So you ask once, maybe wait a couple of months to see how the thing is going as you guys are, communicating with each other. And you wait another month or two, and then you might ask again. Same thing applies with your credit. Don't be caught in the desperate zone. Because once you get caught in the desperate zone, it's going to do nothing but keep bringing that credit score down, down, down. All right? 5 credit inquiries, 2 years. That's it. 5 credit inquiries within 2 years. After that 2 years is starting to elapse, you can get another one, but you do not want to have more than 5 credit inquiries within a 2-year period. All right? If you're building, again, this is the perfect opportunity to understand why. Why is that so important? As I stated, More credit inquiries you have, the lower it's going to sink that score. You become the desperate. You become part of the desperate consumer, and we don't want anybody who gives off that appearance of being desperate. No, you're just seeking the opportunity. So it might not be in the inquiry that you need to do. It might be in the maintenance that you may have to pay more attention. All right. So be careful when you're inquiring. 5 credit inquiries for 2 years. Each application affects your credit score, making it harder to get approved for another account. So it's really important. It's super important that you understand the inquiry piece. Do not go out there inquiring and inquiring and inquiring and inquiring. Think that's going to bring your score up. Once you have the sufficient amount, then what I always speak of next is allocating. Allocate those cards to specific tasks. Once you allocate those cards to specific tasks, then all you're going to do is execute that specific task on a specific time frame of the month, and then you're going to put that card right back into the freezer or wherever it is that you store it for safekeeping. So if you have a credit card application denied, you'll get a letter in the mail telling you the specific reasons for the denial. These details give you more information about how creditors view your credit and factors that can play a role in future credit card applications. And this pretty much applies to anything related to borrowing. Okay, so that denial, even if you get denied, you are entitled to a credit report from the annualcreditreport.com. If you are using a third party, from my understanding, I don't believe those third parties have to give you a credit report, but if you are denied for a application of credit, whether it be a loan, whether it be an auto, whether it be a credit card, even if it's employment, you are entitled to a free credit report so that you can go over that credit report and pull out or ascertain what might be or what may have been the specific reasons behind that denial. And if those specific reasons are not 100% accurate, if I were you, I'd be challenging that. Okay, so you want to start switching over from the verbiage or the word dispute and put this now into the vocabulary, which is challenge. Dispute means I did not do something. All right, so it's really important to understand that. They're setting you up for failure. When I say they, I mean Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, because they're already putting out there, well, they're going to dispute it. Well, the dispute means, again, look it up, Webster, whatever dictionary you use, you'll see the exact same verbiage that I've already witnessed. A dispute means I did not do something. But if you did, and now that the information that you're looking at has it has the wrong date that this account was applied for. It has the wrong amount. It has so many other errors, that you have not noticed, and someone like myself would be able to walk you through those errors. Well, then there it is. That's why you challenge versus disputing. All right. So again, please understand this. You get denied, you still have rights. And those rights will always be there unless you don't exercise those rights. So our job is to strengthen, inform, and make sure that you are well versed in what your consumer rights are. All right, so build better credit habits. This is one of the biggest, huge. Build better credit habits. This is so huge. When you start building better credit habits, you're going to start seeing better credit opportunities. It's just that simple. When you start building better credit habits, you're going to start seeing better credit opportunities. And one of those most important key credit opportunities that we have to, or building opportunities that we must do, is making sure that we're paying on time and also equally looking at our utilization. Because there is some tomfoolery going on. There is some shenanigans going on. There is some real abuses going on from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian when it comes to how they are reporting. And you got to be 100% on board with this understanding that Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian are using high-tech weaponry to navigate the very laws that are out there for us. The very laws. They're using those very laws against us because they know we do not know enough about them. And once you start challenging, once you start getting in that face, once you start looking them dead in the eyeballs, talking about, I'm sorry, this doesn't work for me. And what I mean by them, I'm talking now, not just to Equifax Transient Experian, but you got to make sure you're getting a decision maker on those telephones that when you're having to call up, when you're texting, or when you're sending those emails. You want a decision maker. You want somebody who can go, oh, you know what? Absolutely. I see where the problem is. Boom, done, taken care of. That's what challenge is. Challenge is not where you get somebody on the phone and they keep giving you this, oh, well, I'm so sorry. Well, oh, my goodness, it's going to take us a little bit of time. We're going to need 72 to 48 hours or 48 to 72 hours to get back to you. No, that's not going to do it enough. I want something in writing. I want something that I can concrete hold you accountable for. And that's what happens when you get these customer service representatives. They're limited in their scopes and their abilities to do anything. So building better credit habits is letting them know, those customer service, as nice and polite as you can. Thank you, but no thank you. You're not in my league. You're not in my lane. You're not of my quality or caliber. You can't help me. And I need to speak to a decision maker. And after you do that, you want to log these things down. You need to have some documentation. You need to have something that you called on this day, that you called on that day, that you called on this day. Because this is what is going to be a next part that's going to be super important of how we build this better credit habit. And if you don't start building it now, when? Next pandemic? Next missed opportunity? When? When are you going to start? Today is the day we start. I'll even give you until Monday of the next week, but at some point, you're going to have to decide what's important to you and yours. All right, so build better credit habits is a variety of different steps. It's a variety of different levels, but the only way to get there is to, 1, as you all are, showing up. 2, taking those notes and those important things. 3, reevaluating. And after you do that, finding someone like a coach who can walk you through the particulars and guide you through all of those things that you're going to need to build a financial future that rivals the biggest businesses. That's what you want. All right, to build better credit, you must replace your credit damaging spending habits with financially sound ones. Okay, to build new credit, you must replace your credit damaging spending habits with financially sound ones. Credit damaging spending habits, what I'm referring to by that is you have to start allocating those cards to specific activities. You have to start allocating those cards to specific activities. Once you start doing that, I'm telling you, you're going to see, wow, really spending my card or using my credit card at the bodega or using my credit card to go shopping. Those are fine and dandy. Those are ways of also equally being able to boost that credit score. But if you have insurance, and most insurance companies will let you pay with a credit card, if you have cell phone, if you have utilities, if you have subscriptions, if you have a variety of other products and services that you might be able to, or using your not yourself, but your credit cards to pay those different understandings, put them all on a secured credit card. Once you've made that payment, put that secured card back in that drawer, back in that area where it's secured and away from the opportunities of having to use it, and watch your credit score go through the roof. Watch, I'm telling you. You pay your cell phone every month. You pay your utilities every month. You pay your car insurance every month. You pay a lot of your subscriptions every month. So just those 4 areas alone. That's an automatic. That's an automatic because those are things that are coming out every single month. But if you use one card to pay for those 4 items, the bang for your buck is not going to be there. But if you use 4 secured cards, and put those 4 items that we just talked about on 4 secured cards, you've already gotten to the point where you are now at that point where we want you to be. As a single person, you should have somewhere between 5 and 8 credit products. So you probably need another 4 credit products. As a couple or a married family of 4, not married 4 people, but obviously 2, mom and a dad, daughter, sister, or 2 kids. Again, doesn't matter. Allocate. Get into the habit of allocating these cards to specific activities. I'm telling you, you will see the full bang for your buck. Equally, making sure that you're monitoring, because these companies are doing things, I'm telling you, that you would be shocked and amazed to see. And you're probably seeing it. The thing is that you don't know how to really recognize and identify it. You're looking at it, but you're not sure if that's an error. You're not sure if that's an inaccurate statement. You're not sure if that's valid. And these are those things that they're using against you. Because if you don't know and they drop it on there and you have no clue, you're going to think it's legit. I can tell you right now, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's taking advantage of you. And it's now time for you to, as Jay-Z said, brush the dirt off my shoulder. And it's now time to get in the game. If you keep the same habits, you can end up with damaging credit again. So we don't want to do that. Our job is to help you, coach you, guide you through these unfortunate circumstances that you have been, again, some of it is self-inflicted, and I'm never going to take that away from anyone, even myself. I blame myself for some of my credit mishaps. There's no question about it, because I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the understanding, and I'm fully capable with accepting that. But the small little piece that I contributed to by not having the knowledge outweighs the massive, the huge amount of malfeasance that, again, Congress, these individuals have to go to Congress every single, whether it's 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, whatever that time frame is. But I can pull up every single one of those meetings that Congress had with Equifax, TransUnion, and their CEOs. And every single one of those reports highlights their malfeasance. And those malfeasance didn't get better, they got worse. And the reason why they get worse is because Congress only says, slap on the wrist, don't do it again. Slap on the wrist, don't do it again. Slap on the wrist, don't do it again. And what happens when you do that to people over and over and over and over and over and over and over? Not people, but I mean businesses who know. Well, we give Congress campaign donations. We give Congress opportunities. So Congress will never regulate those that they're getting money from. That's why I'm super happy that they're finally talking about whether or not congressional leaders can invest. They should be able to invest, but they should never be able to invest if it creates a conflict of interest. And as a congressional leader, it's a conflict of interest. Just that simple. You have to remove Congress from the abilities to influence themselves or be influenced by companies that are obviously lining their pockets. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian clearly are doing that. Because with all of these reports that I've seen over the 15 years that I've been doing this, and I've just been recently over the last 5 years, been looking at those congressional reports, and I'm appalled. I'm beside myself every single time a new one comes out, and I see the same abuses over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau, the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, what are you guys doing to prevent that from happening? Clearly nothing. And we, the citizen, are the ones who are being taken to task for something that we should not be taken to task for. As I stated, every single one of us who are here and every single one of us who are not here, I'm sure you are fully versed on the things that you might have contributed to your credit demise. But I can tell you that little piece, I'm putting it right up there again, that little piece does not even come close to what Equifax and TransUnion and Experian gets away with on a regular basis. On a regular basis. And I'm not even going to begin to go into once these debts go into a default status where those companies are able to recoup their losses, and almost 99.9% of those losses are recouped, but yet then they turn around and sell it to a debt collection company who buys it at 4 cents on the dollar, and then you are guilted into thinking that you still owe these companies who have now reaped the benefits of that charge-off. That's a whole new area that I'm not going to get into tonight, but again, just something to look forward to. All right, pay everything on time. There's no getting around that one. That's the number one. That's 35% of your overall credit report right there. Paying everything on time. Making sure that you are first in line to pay on time. First in line to pay on time. If it's due on the first, get it out there. My friend Matt was telling me that he pays a little bit earlier. Sometimes that could have a great impact, and it also could have a negative impact. It's just, again, be careful that you're monitoring, because if you pay earlier, what potentially could happen by the time they report that, almost 2 weeks have now elapsed, and if you use that product within that time frame, you're bringing up the utilization. So it's really important to be very, very careful paying early, but definitely pay on time. Our biggest piece now is making sure that you're getting it reported according to the contractual arrangement, contractual agreement. Okay, every single one of you who have some form of a loan, you're in a contractual understanding. I'm putting these out there in that manner because, again, those contracts are written with these particular adjectives, things that describe. Okay, so really be careful and understand. And if you are not sure, trust me when I tell you, Leverage Credit Recovery, reach out to us. Soul City Network, reach out to them. They'll forward that information over to me. If you're having some other issues with taxes or other financial issues that you are unsure of, there's a young lady that I cannot do anything but praise. Always give them that love. Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. Okay. She can definitely walk you through some of the things that I know I cannot, because that's not my realm. But Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse is, again, God sent when it comes to somebody who can take over where I leave off. And it's a blessing to have that. It's a true, true, true blessing. So again, please make sure that you're paying everything on time. And Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse has a show on Thursdays, Access Wealth Nation, that is literally same time slot. It's just that she takes off where I left off. I'm a credit guy. I'm a full-on fanatic about credit. I'm so super engaged, connected. I have a better reach than anyone possibly when it comes to this information. And as I said, you know more than me. Come on the show. You have more information than I do. As I stated, open invitation to anyone who believes that they can help consumers. Please, I'm asking, I'm imploring, please come on the show. All right. So again, please make sure you're paying everything on time. That's 35% of your overall credit score. All right. Avoid falling behind on any accounts, even small ones like library fines. All right. Those library cards do turn into fines that could end up on your credit report. School lunches and medical bills. Yes, school lunches. The things that we're failing to understand is that all of these entities now, they're operating like a business. Okay, they're looking at their bottom lines, and we need you as consumers to equally start operating like a business, looking at that bottom line, making sure that there is a return on your investment. As we look at the inflation, we know that there's no return on our investment because for the most part, we're just putting in, we're just participating in the input. But the output, we're getting nothing back in return. We keep thinking that our purchase is our win. Our purchase is not the win, people. Just because you give your hard earned and get something back in return, that's not the win. The win is when you can look back and go, wow, my credit score went up 15, 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, 100 points. That's the win. That is the win. Using products that help build, not using products that help destroy or tear down. Many businesses are using collection agencies to follow up on their unpaid customer accounts, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine, but know who these individuals are. Know your ramifications as to how much information you must or should give to these individuals. If somebody calls you, it's like a stranger tapping you on the shoulder, talking about, hey, you owe me some money. You would look at that person and go, who are you? So why do you take a phone call from a random stranger and they says, oh, is this so-and-so and so-and-so? And then you're going to fully disclose all of your information. Why would you do that? Here's a little bit of a tip. So should you start getting these calls, or if you have already been getting these calls, the best thing to do is, should someone say, oh, my name is ABC Credit Collection Company, and I'm calling to speak to, again, using my full name, Tyrone Glover. The best thing to say is that I am a Tyrone Glover. Because obviously after ABC has put out the spiel, it's probably going to say, well, this call is being recorded for quality assurance and training purpose. Anything you say can and will be used against you. All right. This is about collecting a debt. So they're already recording you. And you can change that whole situation by just adding a. I am a Tyrone Glover. Because that recording is not going to know what to do with an A. Anybody who listens to it is not going to know what to do with an A, because after you do that, Google it. Google it. Tell the person to Google it. Because guess what they're going to find? I didn't know I was an MMA boxer. There's another individual out there named Tyrone Glover who's an MMA boxer. I didn't know I was a lawyer. There's another individual out there who's named Tyrone Glover who is a lawyer. I didn't know I worked for this company or that company or this company or that company. Guess why? Because there are more individuals out there in the world that are named Tyrone Glover. So if you're going to give a random stranger all your information, I'm now telling you to stop. Don't do it. Those phone calls, do not avoid them. Pick them up. Those letters that come in the mail, do not ignore them. Answer them. Okay, if you need help navigating through how to, that's what we're here for. Leverage your information, your knowledge by us helping you while we're leveraging your score. Don't go about this on your own. LeBron James didn't become as good of a player as he is today without having a coach. Stephen Curry did not become as good of a player without having a coach. Look at all the soccer players. Look at all the baseball players. Look at all of the athletes. Congratulations to USA in the Olympics. Congratulations to all the Olympiads in whichever country, that you are from. Congratulations. That's a huge honor. But a lot of you would not have made it to that point without a coach. So let's stop fooling ourselves and thinking that our finances are not going to need equally that type of coaching experience. It's only a way to help you get to that next step. All right. If any one of your accounts, again, goes to collections, it gets reported to the credit bureaus and damages the progress you've made. So it's really important to understand whom you're dealing with and whether or not those individuals are operating above board. Because I can tell you right now, they're not. If you're in that 500 range, talk to us. Reach out. If you're in that 600 range, talk to us. Reach out. If you're in that 700 range, congratulations. But still, talk to us and make sure everything is on point. And if you're definitely in that 800 range, same thing. Talk to us. Make sure everything is A-OK. Don't just take your number and think, oh, I'm good. Because I can tell you right now, I know some 800 people who are still subjected to double-digit interest rates. And why? Why? Oh, because it's not 15, 18, 24%. Well, if you got 800 credit, and if you're still being subjected to double digits, then that clearly means you don't understand your credit in the manner in which you should, because you should be somewhere at least by 1 or 2%, if not 3%. So we need to have a conversation, you 800s who are dealing with double digits. All right. So the bottom line is, how do we get to the point where we are financially secure, safe, and generating wealth? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to start with your credit. It's going to start with how you manage your credit, how you protect your credit, how you understand the laws that are equally there to guide you through credit management, and also finding individuals, coaches, law firms, companies that don't mind doing what we do. We educate our consumers. We educate. I plan on this year taking this information to a whole new level because of the importance of how we in communities of color definitely need this information. I'm going to extend that a little bit further. I'm going to extend that to poor and middle class white folks as well. You keep thinking or keep this narrative out there that I constantly keep hearing as if we, Blacks, Hispanics, those of us of color, have taken something from you. We've taken absolutely nothing from you. What we have attempted to do was to occupy the common space of whether it be employment, of whether it be schools, of whether it be higher education, or whether it be whatever realm one is attempting to get into. We're attempting to make a more even playing field. But we clearly know due to other obstacles that are out there, it's never going to be even. It's never going to be fair. So it's our job here to give you as much as we possibly can so that you, or even with our assistance, we can go about not creating fairness, but creating equity, equitable situations where you yourself will never, ever, ever have to worry about anything. All you're going to be looking for is a reliable partner, a reliable situation that allows for both parties to navigate through whatever comes up. We know that life is going to get in the way. We know that there are circumstances that are going to have to put the brakes on. But our job, again, is to make sure that you understand how to navigate this credit understanding, get to that next level, and put you in a much better situation so that you're not having to think about, explore, try to figure out, go months and months and months and months and months without doing. No, we want you to start today. We want everyone who's listening, we want everyone who's within the situations that you're in and you're looking to improve. Well, this is the time frame to do that. This is the time frame to get in front of anything that might be hindering you, preventing you, delaying you from the importance of a positive credit profile. So it's up to you. I can't make you do anything. I can't twist that arm. I can't force you, and nor will I ever do anything like that. But I'm definitely going to tell you, if you do your part, if you finally get out of your way and make these necessary changes, allocate those cards, pay on time, bring down that utilization, remove any possibilities of inquiring just because you want to, and also having a nice credit mix. A credit mix means credit cards, if it's possible, auto loan, if it's possible, mortgage, making sure you have a nice line of credit, if it's possible. Again, some of these things might not be possible. And for the majority of us, credit cards are the one way that we're going to be able to boost that credit score. Now, it would be nice if our rent was added to our credit profiles. And that's another question that, again, has to be asked and answered by those who are saying, well, no, we're not going to put rent on credit profiles. Why not? Why not? There's one company out there, Rental Karma, if I'm not mistaken, and they put from TransUnion only on one. Why? It's your rent that goes to your landlord, who also equally would benefit from that. So these, again, another conversation that we will be having in the upcoming months about how do we establish something that's renter-based that makes sure that your credit is now going to be impacted to the positive. because we're all paying it. And if you could get something out of it, again, just because you're renting and you're giving your landlord that money for that rent, that's not a win-win. It's not. That's just a understanding. The win should be paid my rent. I watch my score go up 100 points. That's the win. That's the win. I got a great relationship with my landlord because anytime something goes wrong, they're right there to make sure it's taken care of. Because we've created a relationship that's based on trust, that's based on mutual understanding, mutual agreements upon what both parties will have to do. Once you create that, you smash the narrative of individuals don't want to, or individuals living above their means. It's not that people are living above their means. Their means have never been sufficiently met. So you can't live above your means if they've not been met to a living understanding. For the most part, too many of us, we're living in situations that they just don't compute. And as me and my niece say all the time, Congress, elected officials, anyone in business, make it make sense. Because it's not making sense. It's not making sense. Make it make sense so that a 2-year-old can walk away and go, yeah, you need to do a better job. Another one that we need to make sense is this broken system. This system was built not to include a huge percentage of the population that's currently in the systems today. But yet we're going to sit back and keep saying, oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's not getting better. It's getting better to a degree that 30% of the population is doing fairly well. It's, again, sad to say that we have so many people, I take that back, so little people in positions where 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 families have more wealth than some 90% of the population. Come on now. Come on. Now, I know I just got off a little bit, but I'm coming right back. But again, that bottom line, do your part. Find individuals who don't mind helping and walking you through these understandings. Find a coach. Find someone who will. And who, by law, there's fiduciaries out there. They'll take care of you. They'll help you out. They'll make sure that your bottom line is good. There's coaches like myself out there. Double, triple, get whatever confirmation you need, but don't sit back and do nothing. This is the year. 2022 could be a year like no other for your finances. Let's get ahead of this, because I'm telling you now, as we reach 2014, not 2014, but 2024, when that next election comes up, if you're financially stable, if you're financially fit, if you're financially in a good place, you're definitely going to go out there and make sure that that stays in that manner. And you're probably going to attempt to elect somebody who's going to keep looking out for your bottom line. All right. So as always, I always like to wrap up the show with being able to take a few minutes to, obviously, as I say all the time, thank those who are and make it every single week to our show. You mean a lot to me. You have no idea how much I appreciate everyone who makes that time, because this is valuable information. And as I state all the time, make sure you get out there and you share it with those in your immediate circles, because you'll be surprised. Those are the ones who need it probably the most. If you have coworkers in there, oh my God, I can't believe, and so forth and so on, share this information. You can always come back to Soul City. These are always up on Soul City. I've actually added them to my website as well, which is Leverage Credit Recovery. I tweet these out on Twitter. I put them on my Instagram. I put them now on my TikTok, which I'm grateful of being part of that platform as well. But we have a lot of means for you to stay connected with us. All right. So as always, I like to end off my shows with some shout outs and hellos. And one of those shout outs that I'd love to give is to Hair Hands by Teeks. She's back in action, y'all. Hair Hands by Teeks is making it happen again. And we want to definitely give her that love and give her that support and give her that understanding. Hair Hands by Teek, we with you. And as I always tell you, I love you, appreciate you, and I'm always here for you. CYI Hats, who keeps my headwear always looking good. These guys are amazing. Yonkers, one of the finest hat companies that I know about right here in Yonkers, all made in America. CYI Hats. My young entrepreneurs, Glossy Yaya. This is my niece, and she's out there making it happen for herself. Glossy Yaya, keep up with it. This is a young lady still in elementary, if I'm not mistaken, but entrepreneurs come at all ages and all sizes. So Glossy Yaya, keep making it happen for yourself. D Chef, this young man has talent beyond talent, beyond talent. Someone I believe who's more homeschooled, more home trained. And again, we was just at his house just over the holiday periods for the Super Bowl. Ooh, did we enjoy? Did we enjoy? So again, all of these companies that I've mentioned cannot leave off without giving that huge, huge Access Wealth Nation your key to financial freedom. There it is right there. What more need to be said? Access Wealth Nation, your key to financial freedom. Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. Please write that name down. Make sure that you tune in on Thursday, same time slot. The doctor is in the house, and she wants to make sure that you are fully prepared for whatever financial decisions that you're going to make. All right. And then always our bread and butter, which is Soul City Network. This is a fabulous, fabulous station. I can't thank Matt and Jasmine for always making me look my best, always putting me out there to provide you with as much information that I can provide. And it's just, as I stated, it's a reward. It is a true blessing to be able to bring content that our people are definitely crying for and needing. These are shows that are educational. They're meant for you to have everything that you need. And we're asking you, if we do not meet that satisfaction, or if we do not hit that topic that you're looking for, leave us a comment. Okay? Leave us something that allows for us to reach back out to you. Send me an email, leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. Hit me up on my cell, 805-428-9424. Or again, as I've always said, if you need to, Soul City Network, leave them a message, and I'm sure they'll pass that on to me. And there's no sure in that. They'll pass that on to me. All right, as always, again, Leverage Credit Recovery is who we are. Our email is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. We have one more email that we're going to add to this, and this is our Coach Credit 411@gmail.com. I just made that one about 2 weeks ago. And Coach Credit 411@gmail.com. It's, again, just another way for you to get in touch with us. This is specifically more directed towards those individuals that are ready to get started immediately. And our website, as always, is Leverage Credit Recovery at leveragecreditrecovery.com. There you can go right ahead and you can fill out the welcome invite that's there on the CEO page, as well as if you are already an existing client or someone, again, still exploring the possibilities, definitely leave a quick little reminder there, set up a time frame where we can sit down. And this is all free consultations, free information. And I'm willing to sit as long as needed with you to make sure that you are fully versed prior to you making any decision. Because that's what we do. I don't need your resources. I need you to be fully versed before you decide to give those resources to someone else. All right? And you need to be able to ask those individuals those questions. Hey, what do you do here? What do I do here? What do you do here? And if you got individuals humming and hawing and heeing and hoeing about, let me get back to you in 72. Let me get back to you in next week. Let me get back to you in this time frame and so forth and so on. No. You need to know right then, right there. And that's what we do. We make sure you know prior to getting off the phone as to what direction up, down, left, right, don't matter. Before you leave that conversation, you will fully know that things can go in the manner in which you want them to go, and it's totally up to you. Totally up to you. So as always, these are one of the best times of my entire week. I love what I do. I appreciate the fact that I get to do it all the time. And I'm going to leave you with this. It's time to decide. Find or make. Find or make. Now, I know that's, what is he talking about? What is he talking about, find or make? You're either going to find the time, and I'd love to know people who have found time, because I'm still looking for time. I don't find it. But making that time is real simple. Making that time is what we call a commitment. So set yourself up for success and commit to improving, rebuilding, or establishing credit that's going to take you beyond your wildest imaginations. All right? Which one will you choose? It's completely up to you. Completely up to you. Finding versus making. Once you decide, let us know, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to be here. We're going to make sure that you have, and we're going to do exactly as I've laid out, not only in this show, but that I've laid out in multiple shows. We need to start creating, and somebody said this morning, which I thought was so cool. We need to start creating more friendships that are beneficial friendships versus just friendships. We need friendships that pay off. Having good friends in your corner is a great thing, but having someone that is in your corner, so making sure that you and yours are going to be okay, that's even a much better thing. And that's what I'm seeking to establish here. True, honest, upfront conversations about how we can take you and yours to that next level. And clearly, as I stated, I'm only here primarily talking about credit. I do have connections with other individuals throughout the financial platforms that could get you even further. As I stated, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, Antonio Kenyatta. I know a lot of people who, and I'm only throwing out two just in that understanding, because those are the two that I look to the most when it comes to giving individuals other opportunities that I'm not fully versed in. But when it comes to that credit piece, I'm going to tell you right now, that credit piece is the foundation. That's what's going to allow for you to erect those walls, whether they be, again, whether you want a 2-room shack or you want a 15-room palace. You're still going to need a foundation. You're going to need something secure, and your credit is going to help build that foundation. It's going to create that what you need. It's going to allow for those walls to be erected, which eventually is going to have that ceiling on it. It's going to allow for you to have peace of mind when you start searching for financial products. It's going to give you so much more relief when you can pass all of this valuable knowledge off to your offsprings, off to, as I stated, those within your immediate circles that are crying. They're reaching out for you. They're asking you, do you know someone? But they're not doing it blatantly as I'm doing. They're doing it through, oh, can I borrow $5? Oh, can I borrow $10? Oh, can you do this? Oh, that's how they're more or less sending those signals. And this is the time for you now to recognize those signals and go, hey, you know what? I just listened to this guy. His name is Tyrone Glover. He is on Soul City Network. Guy seems like he knows exactly what he's talking about. Maybe you should tune into one of his shows on Tuesdays. And if that's not doable for you, hey, let's reach out to him, send him an email or whatever the case may be. But that's what I want individuals to now start doing. If you're not doing it for yourself, do it for those in your immediate circles. You'll be doing them a huge service. As we move through the next 2-3 years, I'm telling you now, it's not going to get easier. It's probably going to get worse. We can see all of these situations immediately now starting to emerge, whether it be with voting, whether it be with wages, whether it be with a variety of different understandings. Once we start getting in front of these situations, the better it's going to be for all of us. Once we start navigating through these situations with more effectiveness, the better it's going to be for all of us. And once we get out of our ways of thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to see a credit that's within reason. I'm not going to use credit anymore because it's been hurting me or harming me. I'm going to tell you right now, those understandings have to cease to exist. You're going to need credit, and you're going to need good, if not exceptional credit. So this whole show today was about making sure that you understand your role, your responsibility in obtaining exceptional credit. Bad to exceptional is where we are hoping that you now have an understanding of how do I get there. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody. I appreciate you all immensely. Without you, none of this would be possible. Without the creator, equally, none of this would be possible. So it's always a blessing to be able to do what I do every single Tuesday. As I stated, my name is Tyrone Glover. I am the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. It has been my pleasure to be with you this afternoon, and I want to wish you and yours a safe and wonderful rest of your evening. Be safe. Stay blessed, America. Peace.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.